Alright guys, this is it. Oh, new transformer, new circuit, all these improvements. Alright, we're ready to try the first time here. We're still going to have to tune it. So let's see what happens here. I'm really nervous. I'm only going to try it for a second or two, first time. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Let me check things out. There was sparking at the main spark gap. I saw a spark jumping on our strike ring. Let me look into that. Nothing off the toroid. Okay, we're back. Hopefully we're finally going to get this running and tuned today. See, I got this point contact discharge point here. Some people may call it a float, but it's actually called a ball cock. Let's say that again, ball cock. There's a lot of jokes there, but let's keep going. Let's see, I had this, the point contact, and the strike ring, and my NST case all going to the same RF ground. And no good. I'm sending the current right through there, and it's going in a circle, going back up out of my strike ring, and probably trying to go back to my NST. So now my point contact and my strike ring are both only grounded actually to the aluminum ladder. NST is to RF ground. Alright, let's try this. Give me 2 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Okay, good. Let's see, we're tapped into 9.5 turns or 9.5 windings on our primary. So next thing is I'm going to move the point contact a little farther, and I may move into primary 1 turn, and we'll be right back. Let me think about it. I did not move the primary tap yet. I only moved the ball cock. It was about 8-9 inches distance from the toroid. Now it's about 12 inches. Now let's see what kind of results we get now. First, we're going to back off that point contact little by little until the spark gets erratic. Alright, here we go. Hang on. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. We're only going to go very short periods of time at a time here. Alright, it was a little erratic. The discharges were off into the air and a little bit to the ball cock. Now I'm going to move that tap in to 8.5 windings. Be right back. Okay, ball cock at a distance of 12 inches, tapping at 8.5 turns. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Was that better? It was about the same, but I moved the ball cock farther away, so we are getting more power. Okay, now the next thing is I might leave the ball cock at that position and move in our tap again to 7.5. Let's see, let me think about it, be right back. Okay. Primary tapped, we moved in 1 winding now. We're testing at 7.5 turns. Ball cock is staying in that position. We're not moving that yet. Last test, sparks were going off into the air and to the ball cock. So let's see what happens now. 7.5 turns. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Did not really see any discharging into the air or to the ball cock. So we're going to have to try winding number 8 in between. 7.5 is no good. Alright, let me make some adjustments. Okay, real quick off camera, I had to test it again at tapping at turn number 8. Okay, our tap is still at 9.5, the best position so far. And I just moved our point contact to 14-inch distance. Let's see if the spark breaks off into the air or not. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was almost entirely all the discharge still going to the ball cock, so I have to move the point contact farther away, and let's try it again. Okay, we're still at 9.5 turns. The ball cock is now at a distance, we're moving it from 14 inches to 16 inches. Let's see if it's if the spark is still going to the ball cock or becoming more erratic and breaking off into the air yet. 3, 2, 1. Still not bad. Okay, our primary tap is still at 9.5. Now I just moved the point contact 1 inch more, from 16 inches to 17 inches. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now that was definitely more erratic. Okay, keeping our point contact at the same 17-inch distance. Now we're tapping our primary at 10 turns. Three, two, one. Looks better to me. Okay. Point contact, same distance. Now we're trying tapping at turn number 9 instead of turn number 10, which was our last test. Turn 10 has been the best so far. Now let's try 9. Now, we're going to fine-tune this yet. I have my spark gaps, 3 electrodes, 2 gaps, dual gap. Each gap right now is set at 1/16 of an inch, approximately 0.062, 62 thousandths. Once we find the proper tapping, we're gonna open those gaps a little bit, and we're gonna have to fine-tune our tapping again. Now, when you start opening up your main gaps, it causes more stresses on the system. See, right now I may only be able to run the system 30 seconds at a time. I'm not quite sure, but from what I'm reading, and if you open a gap from 1/16 of an inch to 100 thousandths, instead of running it for 30 seconds, you may only be able to run the system for 15 seconds. So the more you open up the gaps, longer you're going to get a bigger, brighter discharge, but you're also putting more stresses on the system. Alright, so with that said, anyhow, let me continue tapping number 9. Three, two, one. I would still say number 10 was better. Okay, tapping at 10 1/4. 10 1/2 was not as good as 10. 3, 2, 1. Hard to say. 2, 1. Okay, we're tapped at 9 3/4. I tested again off camera, 9 3/4 and 10. Hard to tell the difference. So we're going with 9 3/4 right now. Now I've opened my spark gaps. It's a dual gap, 3 electrodes. Each gap is set at 0.062. Now I open them up to 0.088. I feel confident I can go to 0.095 yet. But let's see what happens now. This 3, 2, 1. Was it longer discharge? I don't know. Hard to tell. Okay. Primary tapped at turn number 10, which I believe is the best so far. And the main spark gaps I opened up to 0.095. I believe 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's alive. Oh, the sweet smell of ozone. It's been a long time since I smelled that. No, ozone is not good for you. But it sure smells good. Something about that smell, it just gets my adrenaline going, man. It's a rush. Alright, let me think here. Might try elevating that primary next. Okay. See what happens. Everything the same. We just raised our primary up on some 2x4s. I forget what a 2x4 measures these days. It's about 1.5 inches or 1 3/4 thick. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Looks pretty good. Okay, everything the same again, except now we have our primary elevated 3.5 inches, the width of the 2x4. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Not sure if you guys saw that, but there was some arcing between the primary and secondary, so we're too high. We can leave it elevated a little bit. Okay. I had a little bit of a setback as I'm raising and lowering my primary on these blocks. The coil popped out of the supports, sprung open. I had to rethread it and take the blocks out, bring it back down, realign all the Mylar tape strips. That was a good 4 or 5 hours there. Alright, but I think we're about as good as we're going to get it without doing something else here. I don't know if making a smaller primary, right now I'm using 1/2 inch diameter, if I went to a 1/4 inch diameter, would bring the whole coil in smaller diameter closer to the secondary. I don't know if that would improve things or not. Alright, let me show you what we got. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Woo-hoo-hoo! She's alive! Alright. We'll have to come back tonight, see what that looks like when it's dark out. Alright, let's see what this looks like at night. Three, two, one. Oh, that was so cool. It is alive.